Republicans in the state of Arkansas, led of course by their new governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, are hoping to wind back the clock about 60, 70 years so that they can repeal segregation laws to further divide their school systems. Here's what's happening in Arkansas. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has a plan that she wants to implement for a school voucher system, to let kids go to private schools without having to pay any money. There's just one problem with that. That would violate the anti-segregation laws that the state of Arkansas is, for very obvious reasons, subjected to. Because, as studies have shown, what a voucher system would do is allow the more affluent, yet not wealthy, white children to leave schools, leaving majority African Americans in a school district, stripping them of students, which therefore strips them of funding, meaning you are left with a bunch of poor black schools, while the white kids get to use the public money to go to private schools because they're the only ones that can do the transportation to those places. So, for very obvious reasons, Sarah Huckabee Sanders' plan cannot go through because of the segregation laws. So she has had her Republican Attorney General, a man by the name of Tim Griffin, file 4 legal briefs arguing that, hey, we're not racist down here in Arkansas anymore. We can go ahead and get rid of all these pesky laws so that we can enact what would most likely be a very racist policy, even if that is not the intent of the legislation, that would be the outcome. Let me read you what this idiot, Tim Griffin, had to say in one of his legal filings. Despite segregation ending decades ago, several school districts have left outdated consent decrees on the books and rely on them to opt out of school choice, thereby avoiding competition and retaining funds for students who would otherwise leave. That's the point. Like, if you let the more affluent white children leave the schools will lose funding, and then you're left with a bunch of poor black children in a single school. The school loses money. Exactly what you're arguing is the problem. Why can't we do this? Why are these laws here? The laws are there so that you can't do racist crap like that. Again, I'm not even saying the intent is racist, because I don't think they put that much thought into it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I can't prove it either way, so I'm not going to make the claim. But the outcome would undeniably be segregation. Whether you want it to be or not, you would be re-implementing segregation into the Arkansas school system, which is why those laws are still on the books. I mean, we don't just use laws when they're necessary and then say, okay, well, we're not going to do the bad things anymore, so let's repeal the law. No, the law is there to prevent us from slipping back into those old habits, right? I mean, if everybody in America promised, hey, we're not going to murder people anymore, would you be like, okay, cool, we'll just get rid of the laws saying you're not allowed to kill? Yeah, we got them. No, you don't do that for very obvious reasons. We've already seen this country backsliding in ways that we never thought possible, including, by the way, your own state of Arkansas, that recently loosened child labor laws to put the kids back to work in the slaughterhouses. So if you're willing to do that, why in God's name would we take away the anti-segregation laws? Because we already know you're trying to take us back in time, and we sure as hell don't want you to take us back to the days of segregation. And whether you intend to or not, that is exactly what the end result of all of this would be. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.